New haircut. Hello everybody and welcome again to the Lower Levels, a channel where I am going to sit here and wait for somebody to join me at the lower levels, because that's where I'm at. So I have a confession to make. I've played Dark Souls before, and I've played it a lot, and I really love the game and the series in general. I do have to admit that I don't think I've ever beaten Dark Souls 1 legitimately. And what do I mean by legitimately? Because that's going to be a very important thing, right? I don't mean that like if you get help from somebody through the intended features like collaboration with summoning, or if you're like, I don't know, using the master key. Can you tell that I don't script these? The start to go cut through the Valley of the Drakes and go down into Blighttown, I don't consider that illegitimate for other people. But for me, I have never played Dark Souls probably the way that it was intended in some way, because Blighttown sucks. Okay, that's enough of that. I think I can do this much more concisely and easily than this guy can. Future David here. Now I'm going to tell you what the rules of this run are. No glitches. I'm not going to be using a single glitch. That is part of the problem. I know how to do them, but I am refusing to. Second thing, I'm not using the master key. Using the master key is a way to get around doing certain obstacles, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go through what I believe to be the intended order. This is how I'm going to define this. If I can see it on my normal route, then I'm allowed to go. I'm not going to use the master key. If I know where something goes and I get it and I can get there, I'm going to do it. Now, that means I can break out of order and do things like go to the butterfly because I know it's there, and I can see it whenever I go to Andre. And I can go to Andre because I can see it from the cathedral. There's things that I can do because it is there. And rule number 3, I am going to try my best to not use the Black Knight weapons. Why? Because they trivialize the game in some ways, so much so that they are speed run necessary. People will restart the game to get the Black Knight halberd over and over again, and all of those weapons are good like that, and thus I am not going to use them. Thank you. The real crux of this is I've always used glitches and exploits to get through Dark Souls 1. I have beaten Gwyn before. I've beaten Ornstein and Smough without summoning. I would say that I am a veteran, but I may have some stolen valor here. I would like to try and play Dark Souls 1 legitimately. And I mean, I would like to go through the game in a way that it was kind of intended. And this is not me saying like people who use the master key haven't legitimately beaten the game. I'm not a tool, but honestly, this is essentially a challenge run for me because I've never done it. Without further ado, this is me beating Dark Souls for the first time. Legitimately. So there's a couple things. I'm going to be working with some jank because I've kind of got everything jerry-rigged for me to use it for it to work at all, because other video capture card I got messed up. If you look in there, the USB 3 got completely destroyed, and it's kind of disheartening. It was destroyed by the cable that came with it, which is so odd to me, but oh well, that's what you get when you don't pay attention or be careful. Either way, here we go. I think that my character is going to be named Low, as in lower levels. that's just because of the channel that it's going on, though. So class, I've been thinking about this a lot. Obviously, pyromancers are very strong, and the hand axe is not a bad weapon. I could easily find a different shield, and I could easily find better armor. Not that necessarily I even need that. Another thing, sorcerer, also a very good starting class because magic is very strong, and you can use it to do all kinds of things. I am not going to do that because I want to do this the way that I've always wanted to play Dark Souls, and that is with a big bunkin' sword. Now that just leaves which one of these am I going to start with? So usually I pick the warrior because I like having the long sword, decent shield to start with, and the armor's pretty good because it blocks enough and it's lighter, so you can usually mid-roll pretty nicely. But I am going to this time pick the knight because I want that broadsword, baby. Broad for bigger bunks. Now, also even distribution for strength and dexterity, just in case. Makes things slightly easier. I don't know. So been thinking about this one a lot too. I could definitely get the master key because it will help unlock lots of different things that I may not remember where they actually are in the game. Again, legitimately. But I'm going to sidestep it, and instead I'm going to get... I'm just going to take a twin humanity. Just going to take it. Obviously, we are, in fact, large and in charge. Very large in the upper body. We're going to be muscular. We're going to be cool. We're going to be Dark Souls Chads, if you will. And of course, we have to pick the one that to me reminds me of Ryan Reynolds for some reason. Classic, receding so that we match. Like looking in a mirror. So, light brown and accept. Lo and behold, Dark Souls.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark.
Souls. Ooh.
Then, from the dark,
This game has always had great visuals. I love the kind of art direction they go in, and ooh. Really, for this coming out when it did, this cinematic is
Nito, the first of the
awe-inspiring.
dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights.
So cool. I can't wait
And
to
the
slay
furtive
you.
pygmy, so easily forgotten.
Furtive Pygmy. You know, some people believe that that's the ancestor of humanity.
They challenge
And then it was
the
confirmed. Thank you, Dark Souls 3. My favorite Dark Souls.
gleamed upon their stone skills.
for many reasons.
Breathed great firestorms.
Ooh.
Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease.
Bone Daddy.
And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own. And the
Fleshy.
dragons were no more.
I always like that Seath has like these butterfly moth wing things. They're so like different than what you would expect out of a dragon, you know?
Thus began the Age of Fire.
Mm-hmm.
But soon the flames will fade.
So hard to not look at yourself to make sure that you don't look like a bum, dog. So difficult.
Even now, there are only embers.
Only
The man sees not light.
the man
only
sees not
endless
light,
nights.
but only endless
And
nights.
amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark sign.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ah, gotta love that opening cinematic. I didn't have a lot to say, just a really, really pretty visual, and I like the background lore
Yes,
dropping.
indeed. The dark sign brands the undead.
Oh, I didn't know I was branded. Wonder what kind of deals I've got.
And in this land,
Hope it's a
the
better one than
undead
that
are
guy.
corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked.
Look at
away
all those
to
chosen
await
undead.
the end of the world.
That's a really fun thing about Dark Souls 1 too. The chosen one trope. The chosen undead is just the undead that manages to
Is
escape.
your fate.
So cool. Could be anybody. Kind of the point, right? Could be anyone. But it's gonna be me. Legitimately running Dark Souls. Ah. Hi. He's a friend. Here we go. So, like I said, this is going to feel a little janky for me. So, I'm not promising this may not even go up. I may have to redo this, which would really suck. But I will do it if I have to, just to get, good content. Now, part of the reason I picked the knight as a starting class is he's got this really good, like, resistant, strong armor. I think it even has some decent poise on it. Of course, the one main drawback of it being it's so unbelievably heavy that it's going to leave me fat rolling. And if you have never played this game before and you're curious about what fat rolling looks like, oh, that's mid rolling. Wait a second. Let me put back on my broken sword. That's all it took. With all this armor on, if I just put the broken sword back on, all of a sudden I am fat rolling again, and I don't like that. Also, I don't like having that broken sword in my inventory, so I'm just gonna drop that. So, of course, I have beaten this game before. I know how this game goes. There we go. And I do intend to, this time, beat it, but I'm going to beat it legitimately, and I'm going to beat all of the bosses. And part of that is because I do intend to show this game to my friends, and I would like to show off and be a super cool Dark Souls veteran guy that knows how to play this game. And I'm like halfway there right now. Right now I'm like halfway there. All right. Now, as any good Dark Souls veteran does, any good one does it. I beat the Asylum Demon with my bare hands. Here we go. No, you don't. No, I don't. Ooh. I didn't know you got it like that. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Alright. Lock it in. So I'm sure you've noticed, if you mostly stick by his like backside here, he cannot really hurt you as long as you get like right in the crack. The reason I am not locked on is because the lock on in this game locks you into 4-directional rolling, not omnidirectional rolling, which is very dangerous in this game. Well, this will probably be it. Yep, I did not dodge it in time. Well, that was that. I'm not going to sit through that again. If the hammer drops, the hammer drops. By the way, if you beat it without your weapon, he drops his hammer. I was hoping maybe I could steal his hammer, but nope. And I'm not going to spend another 50 minutes trying that again. So I guess I'll just have to do what every Dark Souls veteran does at this point. Do it for real with a weapon, because I don't want to sit through that again, and I don't want to make you sit through that again. You don't want to sit through that again, do you? Well, yeah, you're just seeing the end product, so you probably don't really care that much. But I'm not trying that again. I know I can do it. I know I can. But am I going to spend all that time just to try and do that? No. So, next you start picking up all your stuff and whatnot. And So I'm gonna go ahead and just pick that up and try my best to get everything on. Like I said, I've played these games before, and there's some stuff that I do know how to do that I am kind of like good at, and so like this, the way I play the game is I play it like this so that I can hit buttons like that, and I can hit these so I can hit my attack, and then I can still control my camera for free viewing because, well, you know. The other thing is I just don't like playing with it dark. I like playing with it bright. All right. The way I'm supposed to play it is like yeah, I don't like that. I guess I can still see pretty well, though, including that trap up there that I know is up there anyway, so it's not going to get me. Really quickly, got to test something, see if I can still do this. Yeah, still got my parries. Had to learn how to parry to do a glitch. A glitch. Glitch.
Oh, you. You're no hollow. Goodness.
Maybe.
I'm done for, I'm afraid.
Maybe
I'll
I'm a
die soon,
hollow.
Then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you?
I like being a good guy.
I have
I'll listen.
failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family: "Thou who art undead art chosen, and thine exodus from the undead asylum
Chosen.
maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringest the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know." Well, now you know, and I can die with hope in my heart. Oh,
Sick.
one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask, an undead favorite.
Dog. You shouldn't have.
Oh, and this.
Oh, that's a good thing. Yeah.
Now I must bid farewell.
Mm-hmm.
I would hate to harm you after death. So go now.
Harm me?
And thank you.
Never seeing him again. Cue the do 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 do. Oh, wall collision. Oh, that's not my blocking button either. Man. Now your turn. I practice this a lot. Specifically parrying. Because again, when you're breaking the game, parrying is essential for certain glitches that I will not be performing. Hi. Now, instead of this being some kind of like endurance test that causes me to fight a boss for pot that causes me to fight a boss that I could take down in that amount of time, but causes me to take like an hour. Yeah, that's just what I'm going to do. I'm going to skip doing the thing that is cool and actually challenge runny and all that stuff. Not that I couldn't. I think I obviously could. It's how much time am I willing to actually sit here and beat this thing with my hands. Maybe the broken sword would have been stronger, actually. Maybe I should have tried that. Also, a fun little tidbit, helpful little secret over here. We got a soul. Super fun, super cool, super chill. Now, we fly.
Only
We fly.
in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen.
Chosen. Me? You shouldn't have.
To leave
You
the
shouldn't
undead
have.
asylum in pilgrimage to the land
Pilgrimage.
of the ancient lords.
Lordran?
Lordran.
Little on the nose, huh? But that's okay. Such a pretty game for coming out in the mid to late 2000s. Or maybe even earlier. Oh, it's my buddy. It's my buddy, Mr. Crestfallen Knight. Now that I've got your attention. Rules. I did not take the Master Key. I don't intend on taking the Master Key. I don't intend on restarting to get the Master Key. I'm not going to go through, like, that door to the Valley of the Drakes. I'm not going to go down into Blight Town through that way to skip it. I am going to go what I believe is the intended path through Dark Souls. Again, I have beaten the game. This is not my first time playing it, but this will be the first time I've done it this way. I'm going to try to pick up as many weapons as I can, like some special ones that if you haven't seen before, I'll show you when I get to them. There are a series of weapons that trivialize this game. If one of them does drop, I will use it because that, in my mind, is legitimate. I'm not going out of my way to get them. I'm just, when I come across where they come from, if I happen to get one, I'm going to use it. If they don't drop, we will be in for a much better time. But I think that this is probably just a great place to stop for the first go of this. So I'm going to just say thank you for coming. I really appreciate you stopping by if you did. If this is your first time watching Dark Souls, I implore you to play the game. The game is so fun. I don't know how expensive it might be on, like, here, let me double check that. Yeah, $40. It's a $40 game for the remaster. If you can get the other version of it, it's probably cheaper, closer probably to 20 or maybe 30. But it's just such a good game. I recommend you play it yourself. Don't like on somebody else's go at it. It can be intimidating if you're intimidated by it. I understand that. I am not opposed to people doing things that are the intended way, like summon people, get your friends to come help you if they're better at the game than you. Go out of your way, get the Master Key, go to the Valley of the Drakes, get the Black Knight Halberd, trivialize the game, and then have fun with it, because the game is fun. Glitch it up, dude. I'm going to try the Dark Souls model. I'm going to get good. Thank you for joining me on the lower level. I've been David. I am currently in a basement on a lower level. Keep it small.